Welcome to the Spotlight Series. I'm your host, Scott Nerney. We're at the Sit-In. It's Tuesday night. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube. You want to watch every episode, get notified when new things come out. We share a lot of great stories. Even today, Tony Barbosa, media expert. Thank you very much for coming on the Spotlight Series.
Thank you for having me.
In full disclosure, you're going to be doing some work for the Wave, so we really appreciate all the efforts that you're doing. Folks, you know he must be great if we selected him to do some help with us. So
That's for sure.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I am a multimedia specialist. What that means is I can develop websites, infomercials, commercials. I do music production, audio production, voiceovers, you name it. When it comes to multimedia, it's such a wide scope that there's just so many things that I can do when it comes to multimedia. My main thing is website development.
Okay, so taking someone's website and giving it some jazz and some pump up, or taking a concept that someone thinks they might want a website and building from scratch?
Both. I can start from scratch if a client has a particular idea. I work hand in hand with my clients, so I give them ideas, they give me ideas, we bounce back and forth. And at the end of the first session, we have an idea, I give them a pitch, show them a design, and if they like it, we keep going.
So tell us a little bit, you're talking about media and media focus. We're not talking so much about running the campaign behind the scenes and popping ads to people on Facebook. You're actually working on the front end of the image of the customer.
Correct. I'm working on the front end and the back end. So I make sure it works technology-wise, so everything's working on the back end of the website, but it has to look beautiful on the front end of the website. So I do both ends, so I can design a website and I can develop a website at the same time.
And you're really hands-on. It's not just some intermediary dishing it off to a third party?
No. Like I said, I work hands-on with my clients. They come to my studio, I go to their place of business, I get a feel of what they're doing, and I put my own pitch in there with what they have. So we work hand in hand through the whole process.
How long have you been in business?
I've been in business for about, 2002. Man, that's over 20 years. Nice. 22 years, that's pretty crazy if you think about that.
So from being behind the camera and shooting the camera and website design and all the different media strategies, what's your favorite part of the business?
My favorite part of the business is design, website development and design. Because when you develop a website, it's kind of like the focal point of your business. Websites are huge. They've been huge forever, but now everybody's really catching on. So if you have a business and you don't have a website, then you're falling behind. So my goal is to build the best website for my client and give them the additive that I can give, like the music, like infomercial, music videos, voiceovers, things that a client needs in a website to make it pop, to make it more entertaining, to make it better to look at. Because at the end of the day, if your website looks beautiful, you're going to get more hits.
So let's say I'm running a small business. It could be a couple of guys working on HVAC or plumbing or electrical, or that's a tradesman type atmosphere where in the past it was always word of mouth was my business, but now I want to kind of step up to the next level. Kind of walk me through what a client encounter would be.
Well, a lot of my clients, the first thing they say to me is, how do I get my website seen online? What do I have to do? The sad part about that and the literal truth is you have to pay. So Google is like the king of the world, So just to give a little hint out to the world, if you want to get on the first page of Google, I think it starts at about $1,200 a month. And that's on the low end. If you really want to be up there on the top of it's about $2,000, anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 a month. So it's very expensive, but the first thing to do is to build a site and use social media as as a gauge, if you use social media as a gauge and you see how many people are really looking at the site, it'll give you a better concept as it's worth advertising in Google. A lot of companies advertise, but to me, I've been doing this so long, Google is the best because they're already ahead of the game. So they own YouTube. YouTube now is like Google. So you have to have a YouTube, you have to have a Facebook, you have to have an Instagram / some other, but Google is the key.
Okay. And a lot of folks will come to you, and is it like is a package deal that you'll suggest? Let's say they're a small business, you may do like a little infomercial to kind of talk about their business and introduce it, which would be part of their website. Because if somebody does find them, they want to be reassured that it's a legit company.
Sure.
And tell the story about what they're doing in the world.
Correct. And that's why I like getting people in my studio, because when they see my studio, they realize like, wow, the potential in here is unbelievable. So that's why I do it all. I'm like all the potential under one roof. So if you want to build a website, come to me. You want to build an infomercial, come to me. You want to make a music video, come to me. Because I can do everything under one roof. At the end of the day, saves the client thousands of dollars. Because I will create a package deal, say a website is X amount of dollars. Infomercial is X amount of dollars. You have to go to another place. You have to go to another. So a lot of people don't want to do that.
And start over with someone else.
And start over with someone else. So every client that I have started with have stayed with me because they see the potential. They know that it's expensive. Multimedia is expensive. The bottom line is not cheap. So I make it affordable because I ask the client what they can afford. They can only give me so much, they give me so much, and they pay me monthly. So I always find a way that I can always get the client to work with me. And that's my goal. At the end of the day, I want to see a smiling face because that's my business.
And tell us a little bit about how multimedia has changed since COVID.
Oh, horrible. Well, I work from my home. When I built my home, I had the idea I was always doing multimedia, so I created a beautiful green screen production studio within my garage and editing studio above the garage. So the only reason I was saved from COVID is because I worked from home. So working from home, I still suffered. I didn't get jobs for 2-3 years, I had to collect. I had no choice. We were all in a pickle, let's say. But I was always an optimist, and I always kept driving and kept going as far as I could go. And I knew that this was going to go and it was going to pass. So I kept working as hard as I could. And I can see now COVID, business-wise, is coming back. But so many businesses were lost. So many. I just met a client in Tiverton that had to lose their business. 2 years they were out of business, and they're now coming back. So it's like it took a lot out of everyone. But the good thing is it's all coming back. So people are advertising, people are spending money. So to me, that's what I see happening. That it did hurt, but it's all coming back.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about brand image when someone's trying to put their story out there. How important is that?
That's the key to anyone's success. When I build a website, I tell them the website is the key focal point. So whatever logo you have on the website, whatever footer you have, or brand that you have, has to be the same across all platforms. And that's what I do. So when I build a website, it's not just the website. It's an entire package. Because the website is the focal point, but then there's all the social media. There's all the advertising. So all those things I tie in together. I do Google AdWords so I can set it up for a client. And a client is one of the best things you can have because if you want to advertise to Google AdWords, all you have to do is hit a button. If you don't want to do it, you hit another button. You put the numbers of what you want to advertise. It's very difficult to set up, but very powerful when it's in your hands because any business, let's just say what you were talking about, floor guy, I think it was, tradesman. Yeah. If he's trying to get on the first page of Google, it's going to cost him money. But he doesn't have to pay the money if he doesn't have to. Once I set it up, there's a lot of tricks and gadgets within the Google AdWords that you can use without paying for. One is a great way to see where your business is coming from. So visually you can see on a computer where your last sale was, or how many people are coming through this area or that area. So it gives you an advantage of where, okay, well, a lot of people are coming from Tiverton. We need to put an ad out in Tiverton. So it gives you a lot of powerful tools that you don't have to really pay for. So I always recommend it. And like I said, I create that package with the social media, the Google, the ads, the whole package. So at the end of the day, it's a price that no one can find because I'm unique. When I did my business, I went out to all the other business. When I did my business plan, I went to all the businesses and I saw what they had, all the media companies, and I said, I can do better than that. I know I can. So I focused on doing better than the norm. I went far beyond. And that's where my niche is, I think.
Okay. So Tony, tell us where people can get more information about you.
Well, the easiest way...
Because I'm sure you have a website, right?
I do. And that's where I'm going right there. The easiest way is ADB Media, Alpha Delta Bravo Media.com. You'll see everything right there. If you go to adbmedia.com, you really don't have to do anywhere else. My number's on there. All my information's on there. You can call me directly, or I'll meet you at my studio or at your location. And I'm a no-pressure kind of guy. I love just to meet people to see what they're doing and give them a quote, give them an offer, and hey, they don't have to do it. But at the end of the day, it's something that is valuable. Nowadays, quotes are like a dime a dozen, like 40 years ago when you did something, you shook somebody's hand, you did it. You made sure you did it and you did it good because of the fact that that was your business. And that's how I feel. I feel like I just want to get people to that point to where they see what I do and they love it.
So Tony, thank you very much for coming on the Spotlight Series.
Thank you.
Folks out there, pick the media specialist that the Rhode Island Wave works with. You won't be disappointed. Wish you a lot of luck. Thank you very much for joining the family.
Thank you so much. Thank you.